Hey guys, welcome to JReviews. I am Iceman, and the game covered today is Stray. Stray was developed by Blue 12 Studio and published by Annapurna Interactive. The game was released back in 2022 and immediately caught my attention with its mix of adventure and cyberpunk elements. Plus, it's a game where you get to play as a cat in that style of universe, which, as a lover of cats and cyberpunk, was a match made in cat heaven for me. The game would definitely be best described as an adventure game, but it does delve into action and horror aspects as you proceed through the game. The general background to the game is that it's set in a sort of post-apocalyptic setting where there presumably is no humans left on the planet, with the only inhabitants left being robots. Beyond that, you start off with your fellow cats exploring the long deserted ruins of a city and soon fall into a seemingly bottomless pit. The true adventure then begins. Narrative to the game is told completely through visuals alone, since as a cat you obviously can't speak to anyone. That is, until you encounter some computer terminals in the game, which gives some further insights and directions of what to do, and after that encounter the robot inhabitants who do speak to you. The general feel of the game is similar to a 3D platformer in some respects, though as mentioned this is an adventure game first and foremost. It has a unique atmosphere to it that is all to itself. There is nothing else that I have played that it reminds me of, really, beyond just adventure games and 3D platformers. Graphics to this game are outstanding. This is a very nice looking game with very realistic graphics, and was one that I definitely sat there going, "Oh, that's fantastic graphics."
So if I do the R2 button on my controller, it does like a zoom in. Damn, that looks good. That looks almost real. Ooh. Very pretty.
So it is very nice from a graphical standpoint. For me, I think it looks very realistic, especially in terms of the lighting effects that you get to see from the very beginning of the game, and some of the water effects as well, and just the general look. Even the textures on walls as well. You'll see this all throughout the game. I often looked at things and just felt like that just looks like real life. On the subject of video and cutscenes, I can't think of many video cutscenes that occur in the game. There are some, but there was certainly a lot of cutscenes that play much more in the style of just cutscenes done in the game itself. And being an adventure game, that is to be expected. Music is a mixture of ambient background tracks and much more direct music in the more tense sections. It was all excellent stuff. Nothing that really was memorable to me that I can specifically recall from my earlier playthrough, but even rewatching the videos of my playthrough for this review, I quite liked everything that I heard throughout. It does vary quite a lot in style as you go through the game as well, to fit the mood of the different settings and the gameplay and all those things all put together. On the subject of gameplay, as mentioned, it varies massively throughout the game. Primarily, it plays as a mixture of a 3D platformer and an adventure game, but as you proceed through, it varies into action, stealth, and fast race style stuff. If you're looking for a game with heaps of variety, then I highly recommend this game to you. Not long after meeting the robot inhabitants of the city, you encounter a friendly robot companion and who leads you to one of the most vital pieces of equipment in the game. The backpack looks much more like a cat harness that enables you to interact with technology as well as to store digital pieces of memories and information that you find throughout the game. Other features that the robot companion can do is shine light on dark locations, and later on into the game you gain an upgrade for it which enables it to shine UV light, which can be extremely handy against the flesh bug enemies that you'll frequently start encountering more and more as you proceed through the game. Speaking of the flesh bugs, you'll be seeing a lot of them in the game, and any sections with them often involve horror elements, with some H.R. Geiger style influences going on with fleshy substances found on the ground and walls, as well as odd things like eyeballs that watch you, plus heaps more. Just a very unsettling vibe to it all. The sections in the robot cyberpunk cities in comparison play out completely in the 3D platformer and adventure style, with it often requiring you to search around for new paths to take to reach an objective or for an item that you need to progress. I really enjoyed these sections, just getting to be a cat, exploring around. It's such a unique and cool gameplay angle of seeing the world from the perspective of a cat for a change. That is just something that I absolutely adore about the game, and I wish that more games had unique gameplay perspectives like this one did. If you're a lover of cats in general and would love to just see what it would be like to look through the eyes of a cat, I think that's one of this game's greatest strengths. Many puzzles feature in the game, and very rarely do they have any clues given us as to how to complete them, but nearly all of them, if you think of them from a purely physical perspective of what to move or where to go, they make them all very achievable in figuring out, I think, without having to go source or a walkthrough online. I will admit that I did use a walkthrough a couple of times, but those were few and far between, so largely, if you just sit and think about a problem as you're looking at it, just from a physical thing, going, oh, if I move that into that, or if I go and jump onto this and go there, then generally you can come up with a solution pretty quick. Some do require a bit more time, but the majority, if you just sit there and look at it for a few minutes, you should be able to come up with the solution. Overall structure to the game is excellent. As I said, with a good range of styles of play, and the game is quite short too. My playthrough took around 19 hours, though I was doing a lot of exploring around. If you know exactly what to do, I'm sure you could get it done in far less than that, though I do highly recommend just taking your time when playing the game to enjoy the unique cat gameplay experience at work. How many games do you get to do from that kind of perspective? Difficulty levels wise, no complaints at all from me. It starts off relatively simple and gradually gets harder as you progress. It never gets super hard or frustrating, which always is a positive for me. On the subject of multiplayer, there is no multiplayer, which for a game of this type 100% makes total sense. Bugs and technical issues wise, I can't recall any crashes or major issues occurring on my playthrough of the game. On DLC expansions, sequels, and spin-offs, there was none of those for this game, which is really surprising and at the same time unfortunate, due to just how unique in style this game is. If they ever make a sequel for it, you can count me in, no question. But as of this point in time, some 3 years after my playthrough, there hasn't been any sequels, DLC, or anything for it. I can't believe that at all. I really think that this game has a lot more potential as a franchise to do more with. Overall, Stray is a fantastic game with a one-of-a-kind style of gameplay, angle, and perspective. I absolutely loved every second of my playthrough of the game, and I would highly recommend it to anyone who loves cats and cyberpunk. You can't go wrong with that. Just from that slogan alone had me sold, and I'm sure for many they've already gone and experienced this. But if you haven't, I highly recommend that you go and play it. It is an absolute ball. And that's all I have to say on Stray. If you've enjoyed this video and would like to see more videos in this series, be sure to hit the subscribe button and just check out my channel for further videos and you'll find out what else is available. And with that, this is Iceman of JReviews signing out. Guys, have a good one.